Annyeong, it's Mike here, and welcome back to Mikey Techs. This is going to be my main channel now with we're doing gaming gear related things, Hall effects switches, gaming mice, gaming IEMs, all those things on this channel. Now, today we're going to be going back into doing a Hall effect switch. It's been a while. I actually got the Unionwell Ice Shine. I heard a lot of good things about them. I've actually tried them for a bit as well. I've had these switches for quite a bit now, a few months. I actually went on vacation and all those things, so doing this review actually came a little bit delayed. So we're gonna have to see how good are these switches, because I think I used to love the UR Ice Ultras, not the V2s, the original V1s, and I think these might outshine that completely, especially for a more affordable Hall effect switch. So let's go right into doing the sound test and seeing what the switch is like. But please make sure to like and subscribe, especially if you want to have more information on the next giveaway that I'm doing next week. Introducing the Unionwell Ice Shine. Now, I did say budget. Technically speaking, the UR Ice Ultras are going to be cheaper than this Unionwell, but there are some deals that are available on Taobao or AliExpress that you can get these for a very good price. So with these switches, I do really like how they are. They sound really nice, and they do have these LEDs, the diffusers on both sides of the switch. Now, one thing about these switches that I feel like was quite nice is the fact that they have a more solid sound to it than I feel most HE switches lately. Now, we're going to do the travel test, and you can see here, starts off at 15 millimeters, and then you press all the way down, goes to 11.8. That is only 3.2 millimeters of travel, which is not a lot. I don't know why more and more HE switches are like lowering their travel distance. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't see it being a big benefit, especially when you consider the fact that you can choose your actuation on these switches. So why is it that you need shorter travel? You should have full travel and then choose those distances. Now, as you can see here with the stem, these switches actually has a closed off bottom stem, and it actually has a separate part, like the Gateron switches from the housing of the stem itself. Now you can see here, there is going to be some very, very light lubing that's done around these switches. It actually goes all the way around the sides there, so you can see, it's hard to see, sorry, but it does go around the switches and the sides where the rails would be. It is just a very, very light lubing, and you can see like the slight color difference between the top and the bottom because of that slight lubing there. But overall, it is actually very minimum lubing, so you can do hand lubing on these, and if you do do that, it should provide a slightly deeper tone and slightly smoother feel with these switches. Now in terms of the spring, it is going to be a 21mm spring, so it's a single stage, pretty decently long spring overall, and I do think that this length does help a lot with how these switches feel. I think in general HE switches could actually use even longer springs, and the longer it is should help a lot with how these switches are doing with the whole feel of the switch, sound of the switch, as well as the top out sound of the switches. Now with these ones, it is quite interesting that they were able to do the closed bottom housing. From what I know of Hall effect switches, it was actually supposed to be only Gateron that's able to do this, so I was very surprised to see Unionwell to have the chance to make a switch like this. Now I think it does help a lot when they do close off the stem like this. It just provides a little bit of a better sound compared to, say, other Hall effect switches out there without that closed bottom. Now in terms of how loud these switches are, so they're going to be pretty quiet actually. Even with the decibel test here, you can see it's going to be like 60 decibels, and that's not a very loud switch. It's like a conversation happening next to you, so just keep in mind that these are not going to be super loud. Now in terms of how they feel, they are quite light, so if you rest your fingers on it and you are someone who does, just keep in mind if you have 0.1mm set, you're going to accidentally actuate it. But here's the top out sound. Overall, the top out sound was actually not bad. I think they did a good job with reducing a lot of that top out sound all effect switches have. Now, as you can see here with the brightness, they are pretty decently bright. That was at 10%, then we go to 50%, and then we can go all the way up to the tachyon mode with Wooting, which is about 70%, and then to 100%. So you get very good lighting with these, though you are going to make it have a bit of a blue hue to it. So keep in mind this if you are someone who likes having accurate colors. But overall, I think for what you're paying for the price, these are going to be better switches. It has a really nice sound to it. Doesn't go a hollowy sound like what current Hall effect switches are doing. So there's a new trend now that's happening with Hall effect switches. I think overall, Wuchi Studio did a great job making new Hall effect switches out there with like a deep sound and really having a little bit more of like a loud poppy noise to it. But I feel like it's kind of gone towards a more poppy hollow sound, which isn't always the greatest. Of course, I'll be doing a review on the Cullinan switches very soon. I'm just waiting for them to come in. But for a more budget line of Hall effect switches, I think you're gonna have to want to check out the Unionwells. They're doing a great job with really cutting on the price, and hopefully we see more of that with Hall effect switches. I'll have the links in the description for you guys go check it out yourselves. But please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll have to catch you guys next time.